Hello, you guys. You guys are watching Fresh News. This is Edwin Garcia, your host. Okay, so what I want to talk today is about these fact checkers. Fact checking is something very common that is happening in Instagram. It's happening, I think, in Twitter. It's happening practically every social media outlet. And for some reason, they don't really tend to fact check people on the left. They hardly ever do. Most of the time, they are doing it specifically targeting people who are conservative. And the most thing that is actually more frustrating is that many times they're not even fact checking. Okay, you will share a meme which is most entirely accurate, but because you're not emphasizing enough or you're overemphasizing, they will say that mostly, they will come up with something like that says mostly false. Okay. And this is the problem with fact checking. It is a kind of, in some way or another, it is people who are Democrats and the big tech companies. And I think this is a very unfair thing that's going on. For example, let's look at this post right here. This is a post that talks about Black Lives Matter, and it shows a picture of Toronto Raptors. It shows the Toronto Raptors bus. Okay, now notice notice the fact check does not mention anything about the quote. Instead, it focuses on the picture. That is one incidence of how they manipulate you. It didn't disregard the accusation of Black Lives Matter organization. Instead, they focused on the picture because the picture had nothing to do with the bus. However, the funny thing about that is that not once in that quote did it mention bus. It doesn't mention anything related to that bus. So this is one way in how these fact checkers are able to manipulate and deceive people. All right. Now, there's also other stuff that you can actually look. For example, Political Fact. It is an organization that I believe teamed up with Facebook, and Political Fact in some way has donor ties with Clinton. Okay. And you have Snopes. Snopes is for some reason it's very reliable amongst many people, but Snopes is it has his which I don't think it should really matter to some extent, but it was but there was many in conflict between a couple, and there were some accusations that happened between them. But unfortunately, but apparently this is the type of people, this is the fact check companies that we need to rely, and I really don't know who are these fact checkers and if they actually have the credibility, or is it just people that claim to be fact checkers, I mean, if that was the case, then anybody can be a fact checker. I can be a fact checker, and I can fact check, based on my own criteria or my own opinion. Okay, so I just want you guys to understand that I find these fact checkers quite dishonest and frankly biased, in today's. So I just, that's all pretty much what I just wanted to say.